Slow start to the week this week due to illness. Picked up some decent work in the middle of the week. Stayed in a dodgy hotel. We got a nice show as your van. And everybody paid me on time. Well, good morning. It's Tuesday. I'm Dave, Amble Logistics, and it's the 30th of September. So it should be payday for a lot of people. A lot of 30 days, end of the month money should be coming into your banks today. So I hope everyone gets paid on time. Right, it's not been the greatest start to the week. I had a pretty lousy weekend because it was a bit rough. I felt a bit rough on Friday afternoon, and by the time I got home, I felt pretty damn rough. I ended up going to bed, getting up at about 11 at night, and then going back to bed again at 2 in the morning, getting up, going back to bed, getting up, going back to bed. Sunday felt slightly better. And yesterday, Monday, I felt a bit better again. And today, I don't feel too bad. So whatever bug I caught, I think it's on its way out now. But the upshot meant that on Monday, I was offered work on Friday, but because I felt ill, I thought I better not take it because I might let them down. So I didn't take the work. So yesterday, feeling a bit under the weather slightly, I thought I'll just maybe try and do a local day. And I ended up just doing the two jobs. I did a job, I think it was just down the road from me, and it ended up in Hyde. I think it was 50 quid, nothing major. It wasn't very many miles. That's my minimum is £50. And then I kept trying to bid for stuff, but trying to stay local. There was quite a bit of work going out of area, but I wasn't feeling the greatest. Didn't want to venture too far, and I wanted to rehearse with the band I'm in that night anyway. And then in the end, I got a phone call of someone who could see was clear. It's someone who I've done a bit of work for in the past. Not much, but someone I know does quite a bit of work for them. Asking if I could clear a job for them. They were struggling to clear it, and it was just going up to Bradford. So I did that. And the upshot was that I ended up earning £135 for the full day, which is not a lot. And it's not enough. It's not a target day for me, but I suppose it's better than nothing. And today, I haven't got any work booked in because, once again, yesterday, offered work, wasn't too sure if I could do it, and wanted to see how I felt properly. Plus, I was going to rehearse with a band. It meant I couldn't pick up the stuff. And it was a decent job and all. It was a hazardous load going down to Ipswich. So the upshot was, couldn't do that job. And this morning, I'm up, I'm dressed. It's a bit chilly. I've had some breakfast, a bit of cereal. And I'm going to look for work now. I do feel a lot better. But again, I'm at the whim of this CX. It's the last day of the month. I often think, would people put as much work out on the last day of the month when, if it goes out tomorrow, they've got an extra 30 days to pay you? So we'll see. I put one bid in so far. I didn't get it. But it wasn't, to be honest, it meant going to Bradford, which is like 20 miles away. And then down to Nottingham. And obviously, I've got a bit more than someone perhaps who lives in Bradford for that job. So we'll keep an eye out. The time now is 7:25. I've been up since 6:30 looking, and we'll see how we get on. I've got a shows your van this week, and I've got one for next week as well. So thanks to the guys who sent those in. I will let you know how we get on in the rest of the week. Catch you later. We're now on Wednesday. It's the 1st of October. Been a frustrating morning this morning. But it's been a frustrating week. So a bit poorly Monday, didn't get much work done. Yesterday, felt better. Got a job.
took me up to Saltburn-on-Sea, and you know, I couldn't get a job after that. I couldn't get anything going back or even part way back. Parked up for a while, moved down towards just outside Leeds. I didn't get anything, so yesterday it would be chalked off as a bad day. I got the money for the job up there, and that was it. Nothing back. But then set about concentrating on trying to find a job for the next day. And again, bid for some hazardous loads, didn't get any of them. And eventually I got the job that I'm on today. And this job was from Birkenhead, from the shipyard there, is it Camel Laird's, taking some parts for refurbishment to an ship engineering company in Hull. So it's a fair old distance, which kind of like one coast to the other. And I got decent money for it. This was probably quote number 40 that I put in. I did quote, and bearing in mind that I had to make my way to Birkenhead, so I wanted covering for that. And then, of course, Hull is not an easy place to get out of. So I got what I would say is a fair price for it, which was £190. Surprised to get it, because the mileage is obviously about 140 miles, but fair enough. They gave me the job, probably maybe based on feedback. I don't know. Either way, I'm not complaining. So I got to the shipyard this morning just before 8, and I didn't get away till after 9:30. It was a massive site. It's like a town in itself, and I had to find where I was. That picture at the start of this clip shows the ship that I was supposed to be collecting from, which is in for repair, but the parts were actually in store, so I had to move around. Anyway, we got away, and in fairness to the shipper, he's a good egg, and he didn't quibble on any waiting time whatsoever. Put it on. I think he was grateful that I wasn't kicking up a fuss or anything, but you're there, you might as well wait. If you're getting paid for the waiting time, you'll do it. Bit disappointing that I'll only get to Hull, an hour and a half later than I'd hoped, but we're going to have to try for another job, because this one job really is not enough for the day. It's not been a good week so far. The only good thing is that every single payment I was owed by the end of September was paid. Nobody has failed to pay. There's been no late payments whatsoever. I had a few early payments as well. So is that a sign that the smart pay systems are taking effect and it's good? Or is it just the fact that I must admit I am ultra careful of the companies that I bid for work? If they've got negatives, I don't touch them. And when I say negatives, if it's someone who's done 500 payments in a quarter and they got one negative, well, no, because you're always going to get the odd problem, and it could be the driver's issue that for the reason why they didn't get paid or were paid late. But when you're talking about a medium-sized company who's got 2 or 3 negatives, no, I'm just not interested. I don't want to touch it. Just like the job posters allegedly look at the feedback that we have, I look at their feedback too. And in fact, there's several companies now blocked, one of them being that C&T, the company who were notoriously late paying me. They've got 17 negative feedbacks. Why on earth anybody, yet they continue to post on the CX, well, I don't see their work anymore, but people tell me about that they're still posting work because I've blocked them. Why anybody would even consider bidding for their work with such an horrendous feedback, I don't know. Maybe they've turned around. I don't know, but now that's it for me. Yes, I got paid in the end, but you're waiting a month, 2 months. That's not acceptable. At the end of the day, we're small, independent business people, aren't we? We've got our own little companies and one-man bands, and the cash flow that we generate is important to us. Why on earth, if we get the job done on time, do everything that we're supposed to do, why should we wait for our money? It's completely unacceptable. And then some of these companies, when you ring them up and say, oh, we'll put you on the next payment run. Cheeky bastards. Pay us when you should pay us, and don't tell me when you're going to pay me. Pay me on time, just like I got your stuff done on time. So anyone quibbles with payment for me, that's it. There's no second chances. I ain't using you again. And I would suggest that others do the same, and maybe if they didn't keep getting bids on their work, they might think twice about their practices. Anyway, let's get away from the rants and try and concentrate on getting some money.
I'll give you a quick tour of one of the weirdest, cheapest hotels I've been in. This is your room. It's tiny. You've got a TV on the wall, a kind of attempt at a desk, double bed, sink, mirror, somewhere to hang your clothes, and that's it. No kettle, no bathroom, no toilet. I'll show you them in a minute. If you want to use the bathroom, there's a few on each corridor. My closest one is here. It's like a little pod. And then there's a toilet there. And then there's more on all the other corridors there. And if you want to make yourself a brew, there you go. That's it. That's your lot. It's clean. The room's clean, but it's like a little cell. It's cheap. I'll give it that. I didn't look into it much when I booked it. I was in a bit of a rush. I didn't realise that this is the way it works. So I'm going to go for a shower in a bit. But it's a strange one. That kitchen that you just seen then, you can make a brew in there and things like that. I always bring my own coffee, and I always buy milk because I don't like that UHT milk. It's a good job I do, isn't it? I'd eaten before I come here, so there's no problem. So how am I here? Okay, so this is in Falkirk. I can't remember the name of it, this place, but it's very basic, but it is clean. Basically, I took that job to Hull and I got myself a job up here. It was a bit of a gamble really, because I saw this on offer, and I also saw an ADR job up in Scotland on offer. I bid for them both thinking, if I go up to Scotland with the job from Hull, I can get the ADR job in the morning, and it's worked. So I got the job from Hull, which is a nice little job. And when I did it, the lad who rang me back, he was someone who watches the channel. So he gave me the job, and he also let me do a show as your van. So he'll be appearing in a couple of weeks, because I've actually got 2 to show in reserve at the moment. So that's pretty good. And I've got an ADR job in the morning from Falkirk, where I am now. I was going to Edinburgh, but I put quite strong money on it. I also put a bid in for a backload ADR job going from Glasgow to Manchester, which would have absolutely rounded the day off. I didn't get that one though. So once I've done that job to Edinburgh, we'll be looking to get something back down south. So in the meantime, why don't you watch this week's Show Us Your Van?
Eddie here from Delivered Couriers with my 20 plate Peugeot partner named Patsy Partner. She is nice and clean currently. She's done 59,032 miles. Currently running well. The last van I had was written off due to an issue not known to me. Got this one, which was almost nearly written off because the DPF wasn't knackered. It's been completely ripped out, stripped, brand new, replaced, all bells and whistles. in here we do have 3 seats, which was the main reason for buying this van, because I have 2 kids that still need to be taken to school on some days. We have our wee hidey compartments here, which right now is empty. I'm just back my holidays. The boot placement area. All the essentials are stored in the back in the magic bag. In my wee glove box, not much, wires, pens, deodorant just in case we're having to stay out and get a wash somewhere else. Wee tin of aftershave just in case. We have our day book. We've got our delivery note duplicate book also. It does come with this wee touchscreen tablet, which isn't the greatest, to be honest. Sometimes it's a bit kind of unresponsive. The charger doesn't charge amazingly well. Does give you a charge, but not perfect. As you can see, we are on 59,032 currently. Being a partner, it is pretty standard in terms of most of the small vans that are on the road at the minute, whether it's a Berlingo, Vauxhall Combo, Peugeot partner, they're all the same with a different face really. And she has just been washed, not by me but by the nice big machine at Sainsbury's. Currently empty, apart from said magic bag that comes with all your usuals. And the lazy man strap, that, I must admit I love them, self-retractable. Inside, ply-lined, nice, clean. The floor could do with a bit of scrub, to be fair, a couple of gouges, but all in all, pretty nice wee van. Same sort of standard here, where this part will fold down, the front seat will then go down, open up space to let you get maybe a roll of carpet in, or whichever other long item may need to be transported. Most of the work I do is currently through CX, not long been on it. It does tend to perform well, it's not too greedy on the diesel. All in all, quite a nice wee van.
So that Peugeot partner is Eddie, and he's from Hamilton up towards Glasgow there, working mainly on the CX. It's a tidy van, and I think the Peugeot partner, Berlingo, they're the most popular vans, aren't they, as the small vans. They're really good on the miles per gallon. As you can see, that one of these is really tidy. A good example, low mileage. I think you'll get a good few years of service out of that head if you keep it well serviced. So Eddie, he's not got a website. I put his CX number obviously at the start of the clip, but I will put his other contact information in the description on this video. So if you want to get in touch with someone, if you need a man up in the Glasgow area, then obviously you can contact him. So the thing is, what I think about Shows Your Van is that, yeah, he's on the CX, and then the CX can be a bit of a lottery, can't it? But in this instance, you can see the type of vehicle quite clearly that Eddie operates. You can see that it's a tidy vehicle. You can see that he looks after it. And that vehicle will represent you well, in my opinion, rather than the lottery of going in blind with a CX driver who you don't know about, could be turning up in any old bucket. So I think it's worthwhile bearing some of the people who put Shows Your Van on here, because they're obviously pleased and they've got nothing to hide. And I think it reflects well on them. Right, that's enough of Ed now. Thank you for sending in the vid, Ed. Let's talk about me. Right, after staying in Faulty Towers, I did the ADR job in the morning, and I'll be honest, I could not get jack shit home after that. Obviously, the ADR job will cover the cost of the hotel, all the juice home, and more. But it would have been nice to get a backload. I put a few quotes in, but it wasn't all that busy, and in the end, I had to head home. I wanted to be home, and I knew that I had work today. So we went home, and there's a bloody accident on the M74 near Gretna. Oh, it took an extra hour and a half to get home. But I was home for just after tea time. In the end, having wasted 2 hours looking for work, sat between Edinburgh and Glasgow. But that's the chance you take with doing Scotland. And I knew I'd covered the journey back, so if nothing else, that'll do. It would have been better financially for me to have got a backload, but if you can't get it, and you know, you're looking, some of the prices I quoted, I was surprised I didn't get them, but hey, you know, I ain't working for 50 pence a mile. I'm sorry, buddy. I would walk home on bare coals and do that. Anyway, that aside, we are currently working today. I put a bid in for a hazardous load, which I picked up this morning from Speak in Liverpool. It's paint. It was originally going to be a drop in Birmingham, but then it was changed to a drop in Coventry as well. I loaded this morning, set off on my way, got about halfway to Birmingham, got a phone call from the shipping company to say that had loaded me with one pallet incorrectly. The one for Coventry was loaded incorrectly. This is not their goods. So what they'd asked me to do was deliver in Birmingham anyway, and then take the Coventry pallet back, or re-deliver it Monday morning. But I can't re-deliver Monday morning because I am booked out already. So what I am doing is I've dropped now. I've dropped in Birmingham, heading back up, and they asked me to quote them a price to take it back, which I've done. So it's great for me because obviously I'm still carrying ADR, but I've not spanked them on it. The first time I've actually done any work for this shipper, and if they do get ADR work, obviously I don't want to be ripping anybody off. If, you know, there might be a potential for more work off them. So basically, I'm taking it back for a non-ADR price, which I think's fair. And also, they then rang me back about 15 minutes later and said, on your way back up, would you please consider calling into Stoke-on-Trent, picking up a pallet and taking it up to Earlham, just outside Manchester, which is kind of on the way to Liverpool anyway. And, you know, they asked me what I wanted for it. So again, I just thought I won't go silly, just charge them 130 mile for that job. And they agreed to it. So I've got an extra bonus of that job as well. So, you know, I might develop a good relationship with this company. You never know. So that makes the day complete, really. It's more than a day's money for what I'm doing all there. And then I'm going to be in Stockport today around 4 o'clock to load up, ready for a job on Monday. So we've got a cracking job on Monday. We've got a run up to Newcastle with a return. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, it's not 100% certain, but it's about 90% certain, I'm going to be trekking up to Inverness, overnight stay, and then a return back. And that'll be a very well paid day. Off, well, I'd say he's a pal now. You know who you are, Dave. And I built a nice relationship with him, and he's giving me some really good work. So as long as I don't mess it up, he might carry on. You never know. So that's the week concluded. Financially, not a brilliant week. Obviously, poor start. It would have been an on-target week if I'd have got something out of Scotland, but I didn't. So we are underneath the target, but Monday was a next to nothing day because it was a bit rough. But it's not bad. It's just not quite where I would want to be normally, but it will do, and it will meet all the expenses and pay my wages. Next week, if everything comes off, I'll be on target just on the jobs I've already got booked in. So I can make up, hopefully, shortfall on this week anyway. So that's it. That's me done for the week. Thanks for watching. I've got a few shows your vans lined up. Got a cracking one next week. It's a really good video. They've done a really good video on it. I think you'll enjoy it. Send us your shows your vans. Send us your questions. Got a phone call last night from someone who just started on the CX, actually. I was in a bit despondent with how it's going. So I had a bit of a chat with them and tell them, you know, that you've just got to lower your expectations a bit and build up your contacts. And Because of course they were told with a short wheelbase van they should be charging 122 a mile by the people at the CX, and of course realistically you're not going to get that, are you? But I hope our little chat, my friend, helped you. But you know, they always say the good people help themselves as well. Build up those contacts, get to know people, and I'm sure things will improve for you. I certainly hope they do anyway. Got any of the comments? Let us know. Let us know how it was for you this month. Did you all get paid okay? Did anybody not get paid on time? Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like the vids. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.